a minute here, we will be live. Not exactly sure because I clicked over to the other monitor. And so we'll just wait.
Why are you being asshole?
Okay, I think we're live. Something blinked way over there.
Something blinked. I'm not even ready. I'm filling with my thermometer.
We're never ready. Welcome to another episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. Just a couple guys in the Northwest who like beer.
I think you should too.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Steve.
I think we screwed that up, but
And I'm trying to fix my thermometer.
oh no. Yeah, it's all the bending things.
Yeah, I just gotta get the bending stuff going on.
So today is kind of a fun day. Do you got your aiming flame? Because I'm just going to start this flame.
Ooh, you
right
know what?
now.
That is on the shelf.
Here,
I got it. There. Thought I was prepared, but obviously not.
oh, close enough. We are, after all, the most professional broadcast this side of Columbia.
True.
They don't need to know that I broke 17 traffic laws getting here, so I can be here on time.
All right, Anders.
Like a true professional, I almost let my propane run out, and I didn't do it yesterday because even though I had the day off, lots of time.
We were busy yesterday. True. Are you off Monday by chance?
I am, which will be tomorrow.
Well, there's no school tomorrow either.
Right.
Because this parent-teacher conference is.
So we can play late into the evening.
So we're not exactly pressed for much time. Because
right.
You're off. I'm not off work, but I don't work till later, so
yeah,
it's fun.
Sweet. I'm excited. I'm going to. Oh man, we'll do a couple things here, and then we should get to the once you get that fixed, we can concentrate on entertaining the masses. What the heck is going on?
It's like it's opened up too much. It won't.
Yeah,
I fixed it one time before, but I forgot how I bent it.
So you got to spread out the holes. So the two holes need to be further apart.
Right. I know that's gonna make that part tight, but.
And then for the clipping on the thing, you need to just bend that in towards no other way. Yeah, that and that should tighten it up on the edge of the pot. So spreading out the holes will give you the friction on the stem.
There we go.
It is.
I guess got it now. Thank you.
Airframers, we know how to do this stuff.
There we go. It's a little better.
Okay, so
More gooder.
All
right. Well, today, as we finally actually get to the content here, we're doing something a little different today. If you watch all our previous episodes, we either describe the kit that we designed ourselves, which is that's the case for today's stream, or we talk about a prepackaged beer kit that we buy from our brew suppliers and that we read over the ingredients. So, but today we're doing
we're still gonna brew beer.
Yeah, as you can see, we're still getting ready. But today's stream is a little different though. So we designed the beer from the ground up. Kind of a winter spiced ale type beer was what we're going for. Not exactly like a Christmas tree beer or like a real piney kind of beer, but more of a like spiced cinnamon and nutmeg and raisins and things like that. Maybe a fruitcake kind of thing.
Ooh.
In the end, the beer is going to have kind of a medium dark, look to it. Somewhere between like an amber and maybe a stout, but not like super dark. Mouthfeel, we're kind of aiming for the middle. We don't want it too light, but we don't want it too heavy, like where it feels like you can cut it with fork and knife kind of thing. And we are brewing identical beers, except we're using two different kinds of yeast. We're going to compare the differences. Everything else is identical. All the specialty grains, the types of malt extracts we're using, the little additions we're going to throw in there. Like in fact, we're going to use sweet orange peel and some cinnamon sticks and some nutmeg, and we're going to put all these in during the boil, and then we'll put it in the carboy and ferment it, and everything will be the same as if you've ever watched any of the previous episodes. So nothing special there, other than just the fact that we're experimenting with two identical beers with the exception of the yeast to see how different they are, and we're making a spiced winter ale.
So we had a lot of fun with this one.
No pumpkin.
Yes, no pumpkin.
All right.
No, the brewer say, why is pumpkin? Why does everybody hate pumpkin?
Because it's so overused and marketed during this time of year. Pumpkin spice,
Yeah, pumpkin spice gasoline.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything.
So instead of being like a cool thing, it became, a way to make fun of stuff,
Yeah.
Let me guess, pumpkin spice, Thank you, Starbucks, and all your pumpkin spice crap,
Which is not to say that it's yucky. It's just I guess you're right. It is overplayed.
No, it's overplayed, overmarketed.
Horribly overplayed.
All right, I'm good.
So I guess I'm the guy that's got the recipe, aren't I?
Yeah, you're the one.
I'm the one that
typed
wrote it
everything
down.
up. I didn't copy that yet from you.
So this was kind of fun because we're busy, and so we just didn't get a chance to build a recipe or think. So we just went right down to Northwest Brewer Supply and talked with Trevor. And talked with Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Trevor was there, but Ben was the one that really helped us put the recipe together.
I just mix them up. I'm a bad person. I apologize deeply.
Flog yourself.
I will, but not on camera because this is a family show. And when I flog, I do it right, and I could get brew. We go straight to rated R, blood, Okay, that got dark. So anyhow, we talked with Ben, and we just sat there and worked up a beer recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We walked in and said, we want to make this, but we're not sure where to start.
Yeah, we had no idea. It's like, and so, so that's actually, it's a worthy discussion point, the way we came up with it. But wait, because we also use these things for our own personal beer logs of what we did. Let's get this out of the way. So we got two different yeasts. One is going here, one is going there. Yeast 1 is Y yeast 1028, and yeast number 2 is Y yeast 1318. We can look up the differences as to what they do later. Right. I do know that one had a more sweet finish,
right,
and one has a drier finish.
And that's why we chose those two.
Yeah, we went with because we want to taste the difference in these beers.
I'm not sure which number is which, but one's London Ale, the other one's London 3. So,
right.
But I'm not sure what number was for which one.
And we can look that up so that which beer would you like? Do you like sweeter beer or
dry? Flip a coin now.
Okay. We are very decisive people, if you haven't noticed.
I'll go for the drier one. I like dry beers.
See, well, it's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
So,
with the exception of Resurrection Ale, it always has a sweetness to it.
Yeah, Resurrection Ale, which, by the way, is what we're drinking. It's amazing. I would pay for this beer. Okay, so we got the two yeasts, and then we're using Breeze Amber liquid malt extract, 6.6 pounds, 1 ounce of Centennial hops at 60 minutes, 1 ounce of Fuggles at 10 minutes. Our steeping grains are 8 ounces of caramel, 120, 8 ounces of Munich, and then 1 ounce of roasted barley, pretty much just to give it a little darker color. Yeah,
it's going to add a little bit of a slight red to it. It's like a little bit of taint.
Right.
And that came out wrong. Because taint is a negative thing.
Oh. Yeah, like tainted.
Yeah. Tainted, I guess I was trying to think tint, maybe. Tinting something.
Tinted, yeah. Okay.
There was a word that Ben was using. I forget what he was using to describe what that.
He said stained.
Was it stained?
He used the word stained.
Yeah, that's right. Because that little 1 ounce isn't going to do much for other than impart a little color. That's about it. Yeah. Nathan with the? No, he's not here yet.
Oh my goodness, this beer is so good. You knocked it out of the park with this one.
Thanks, man.
I realize you're still tinkering with it. I say stop.
Well, my tinkers are very subtle. I'm not making changes. That's why it still comes out the same. I just made some small changes. Like, I think what I did was I used a different Lobobon on my crystal, right? Just to see if that make a difference. It doesn't seem to be making a difference, honestly. Or I'm not making a big enough of a change in the Lobobon scale. Right. And so it's just not really changing anything. So, in addition, this is where we get crazy, and this is stuff that we've never done before. We're going to add ½ ounce of orange peel at the 15-minute mark. Yep. You got 1 ounce little sack here. We'll split it up and throw it in. And then we're going to add 1 stalk cinnamon, because apparently I can't type. Maybe I didn't have my glasses on. So, cinnamon. 1 stick of cinnamon. 1 stalk? Yes, 1 stalk. Cinnamon stalks? Yeah, so just 1 stick. Which, once we get things going, we might look that up and see if that's way too much. Oh, 1 stick. It's like, no, you're going to end up with cinnamon toasted roasted barley. A 1/4 inch of that stick. Yeah, just a little bit. Kind of like with the nutmeg, which I did look up yesterday. Right. So we said the cinnamon stick in about 30 minutes. And I think Ben helped us with that. He's like, yeah, 30 minutes should be good. So we're going to throw in the cinnamon at the 30-minute mark. And then we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. It's a 1/4 teaspoon because one of the guys on that forum that I was surfing said, you could go half, but I wouldn't go more. Okay. So let's just go with 1/4. Go 1/4, yeah. Yeah, 1/4 teaspoon. I'd rather not have enough of the flavor than too much of a certain flavor.
Yeah, overpowering is
Yeah, it's
good.
like, oh, yeah, it's too strong, you know.
So we could throw that, let's do that at the 10-minute mark.
Okay.
Or the 5-minute mark. What do you want?
Do 10 minutes.
Okay, 10-minute mark. So the
We'll
10-minute
we'll
mark.
just keep it log with marks we're using.
Let me write that down.
Right. Because if this comes out really good, we're gonna definitely want to be able to repeat this.
Heck yeah.
You know, make it a seasonal every year thing. So.
We just said 10, right?
Yeah, I'll throw it at 10-minute mark.
Okay, 10-minute mark. So let's recap. We got our yeast, that's good. Breeze, amber, LME. But so for our hop and spice schedule, we got Centennial at 60 minutes, Fuggles at 10. The steeping grains, that's a given. That's standard stock. Get up to 10. Actually, we're doing a new thing in the interest of being as close to identical as possible. Usually Steve warm steeps and I cold steep. Partially that's because I'm lazy. Steve is trying to he's like seeing if it has a difference in the flavor of the beer. But, and I just don't notice it because I just don't have a very sensitive palate. It's true.
I'm not sure if it changes flavor, but I do believe it affects the mouthfeel.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out. In any case, so everything is identical. So I'm warming up my water with nothing in it. It is clear tea.
Clear tea.
No tea. just tealess tea.
Don't mind me, I'm just swapping the gas.
Decaffeinated, de-stained, de-flavored tea. Nothing in it. So anyways, nutmeg at 10 and the Fuggles at 10. So the Fuggles and the nutmeg will go in at the same time. Sounds good to me?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I got everything typed down.
Okay.
And at some point in our lives, we should actually use the tome.
The tome. We need to find somebody who has nice handwriting.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
He has amazing handwriting. Eric at work. Jeez, that guy has.
Yeah.
He has like ladies' handwriting. It's like insane.
It's like Eric.
He said he's practiced too.
Oh, you practice penmanship then.
Although I know someone else who has even better handwriting. My mother. Of course, it takes my mother 15 minutes to write her name.
I don't doubt it, man.
All right. So, I'm at 140, going for 150. Or are we going to try and land on the 70? It's going to be hard to be super precise.
Yeah, we're not going to have identical temperatures, man. As long as we're in that range, I think we'll be fine.
Right.
We just keep between the 150 and 160. I think it'll be fine.
So
I just use the 70 Celsius as a marker because it's easy to see. You know?
Yeah. Of course.
And it's not quite 160 degrees.
Right. Not gonna lie, I'm actually excited because I've talked about wanting to do this before.
Okay.
The whole let's make a double batch and we only change one thing.
But we did that once before.
What did we do?
We added citra hops to one of the recipes we used to do from the brew supply.
Oh, that's right.
It wasn't that good. It didn't come out as good,
No.
So we probably used the wrong hops, is what it was, to change the flavor of that kind of beer. I forget what the kind of beer it was, but like a Kolsch or something, or maybe it was a Temptation. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, we added citra hops at the end just to see what it would do. And you definitely imparted a citra flavor, but in the end, it didn't blow my skirt up.
It wasn't an amazing beer. You're absolutely right.
Drinkable, but not amazing.
If it was, I would have remembered it. Maybe. So, something funny happened today.
Yeah.
On the way over to your place. So down at the end of the road there, where the 2T like that.
Right.
I'm coming, I'm about ready to make the left-hand turn. This little Mazda Miata loses it. Right? Comes around the corner. And he didn't quite lose it, but he got on it too hard. He or she.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I said, Mario Kart.
Just like Mario Kart.
Just like Mario Kart. It's like, he says, it's like, oh, aren't you cute? Spinning your tires.
Pretty little shell, huh?
Look at you, spiny blue shell.
Nice.
It was funny. I just thought about it. It's like, spiny blue shell.
Hell yeah. Right on.
All right. I should probably get this ready. And get this under
Trying
control.
to stabilize, yeah.
I think the last 3 broadcasts I've been busy flapping my gums and watch it sail right through 160. Shut it off.
It happens. So I think I'm going to really make an honest effort to get out there for their next meeting that they were talking about?
The November
meetup, yeah, out there at the store.
5th, November 5th.
Okay, so it's on the 5th. Okay, which is
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, yeah, I think I'll make it out there because we're not brewing that weekend anyway, and
yeah, I think. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. For those of you who might be watching on the replay, or if anyone shows up, we'll remind them.
Right.
This is pretty much the last one until December.
Yeah.
Just because things.
Life things.
Yeah,
we're gonna be on about a month hiatus, almost to the day a month hiatus.
Yeah, it's just.
Actually, a little more because we're still in October, so.
Yeah.
This is our last brew day until December 4th, I believe, is the Sunday we'll be brewing in December.
Yeah, we'll be back on December 4th.
So we're going to kind of keep the same schedule where it's going to be every other Sunday, but we're just not brewing those particular Sundays. So the following beer day will be quick.
Yeah.
We're not going to cop it. We're not going to cop it a week early or anything.
We're not going to throw everything off and flip it. It's like, okay, well, we're just going to stay on our same every other week schedule and skip 2 weeks. I'm going to be out of town.
3 brew days.
What's that?
It's 3 brew days.
Is it 3 brew days?
Maybe it's only 2 brew days.
I think it's only 2 brew days. Because there's only roughly 2 in each month,
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Just 2 brew days we'll be missing. It kind of works out for me personally, only because I have beer on lagering, which takes longer than.
Yeah, you're running out of space, which is why.
Space. Yeah. It kind of works out, man.
You ever see a Half Baked?
Long time ago. I know that stoner movie from the 90s or whatever.
Yeah. So in any case, one of the characters, I forget, it's not important, but he had this way of talking, and I was thinking in his tone of voice today.
Oh. Okay.
As I came over here, I almost brought beer, right? Because I had your growler. I was like, I'll bring this. Oh, I should fill it. And I was like, no, Steve needs room. I will help Steve. And I will not bring beer, and that will help Steve.
It would have been fine either way, but
I know it is.
Yeah, the Resurrection is the lowest right now. I don't know what the capacity is because it'd be cool if some app was built that kept that.
Yeah, they use engineering. If only one of us were a software engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Neil.
I'm not a practicing software engineer.
It doesn't matter, dude. You have this incredible set of skills that is amazingly pragmatic. I play guitar and sing. That's nice. It's entertaining. You freaking build things that do things. You built that A gap, dude. He built this A gap. Let me brag on my friend Steve on my show. So it's on its face, it's very simple. You tap, you say, I'd like a dozen eggs. You fill out all your information, and then you hit go, and then I get this message on my phone, on my email saying, oh, Bob wants eggs, and he wants them here. And then I get the eggs, and I take them, and my kid gets the money, and wait, I'm going to address that later. But the point being, it's this amazing thing on the front. It's simple. It is elegant. There's the word. It's a good word. If you're a computer person, you know that word. So for a guy like me, who's not too well...
You're pretty technical, man.
I know. That's just because I like to know, but I don't practice at all. Because
right. I know what you mean, though.
Patience to sit and stare at lines and lines of text for hours. And fix one bug and then find 97 other bugs showed up because I fixed the one bug.
I know, man. I hate when that happens. There's a way you can test it. It's called regression testing. You make a change and then it runs a suite of tests. It's like, oh, I just broke everything else now.
Yeah. However, the point is, where was I going? Oh, this app is just really cool. But let me tell you, so I watched Steve build it and swear. And then swear some more and want to break things. And then tell me he was never coding again. And then 10 minutes later, decide to code some more. It's kind of entertaining from my end of things.
It's like those nights where you drink way too much and you're like, oh, I'm never drinking again, and then you go party the next weekend. Yeah, it's the same thing. I'll get frustrated with whatever project I'm working on because something's not working right, and I get it figured out, and then I'm like, okay, I'll keep coding.
In any case, the point is, I saw all the work that went into this, and that was really cool. Well, Jonathan has more computer skills than I. He gave you that compliment. He's like, this is enterprise level, and it is. It's a really cool app. So the point being, why am I still guessing at how much beer I have in my keg, buddy?
What he's referring to, friends, is a project that I ran across somebody like, hey, I got this idea I want to do. Because, at any given time, I probably have 3 or 4 kegs worth of beer in the good old chest freezer outside of the camera. But I never know how much beer I have unless I pick it up and go, oh, that's about half a keg or that's a quarter keg. sometimes it's amazing where it feels like, I mean, I can pick up with a pinky, but it keeps putting out beer.
We call it the keg of
Keg
holding.
of holding for all you
D&D
ED types
folks
out.
would catch up on that one.
Yeah, it's like, how's this keg keep putting more beer out? I can pick it up with a pinky. Anyway, so I never know how much beer I have at any given time, and I had this idea where I wanted to be able to know by either bringing up an app on my phone or if I was on my computer, whatever. You know, it's going to be web-based where you can be anywhere in the world and know how much beer's in Steve's kegs. I just haven't got around to fully designing it and coding or anything yet, but it might happen one day.
Well, I tell you, I really like your design. So I saw another design. I sent you the link to it.
Yeah.
I saw another design, which was not a bad design, but it was more complex because in his or hers, I don't know, I think it was a dude that designed it. It doesn't matter. But it was a software thing with like flow meters type deal. But basically, you had to input in. You had to reset it every time. You had to input in.
It would be similar with mine. You have to weigh the keg and then store that.
Yeah, but you only have to do it once.
No, every time you fill a keg, you got to do it.
Why?
Because different beers are going to have different density.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to be significant?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I can fill a keg of water. It's going to weigh different than a keg of beer, though.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know by how much. Honestly, it may or may not. I really don't know. I have to look into it. I figured if I did a couple of experiments where I would weigh them every time I filled it up, just to see if it, this is a stout, this weighed this much. This is a porter weighed this much. This is an amber. And if it's just a small little minute change, then I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like it's 1 ounce difference in weight, because you're going to use weight, right?
Well, yeah, I was going to use these pressure sensors that would read, the weight, and then as it over time, as the beer was consumed, obviously less pressure would be on that little deal, and it would read real time live. So I could be at the store, I'm like, I'll use my phone. It's like, oh, I'm low on X beer,
So here's my thought without knowing. Here's my thought without knowing. I don't think that you are going to find enough of a weight difference between any of the beers and water to have to reset your system every time.
Reset the system.
It's like once you know the keg weighs 2 pounds 5 ounces.
Right.
You put that in there, and then you pour your beer in.
Right. Because I'll take an empty weight, I'll take a full weight, and that'll be baseline for the formula that calculates, as the weight drops, how much beer is left in how much beer is left in there.
I just think I looked at his system, and it seemed like there was a lot more thinking with this system. Now, this system is for sale, by the way. Sale is
probably commercial. I mean, it's probably meant to be commercial. Mine's a hobby system, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, it did look kind of polished, like the things. Maybe it wasn't. I'd have to look it up. It wasn't that important. I just remember
it's going to talk to a Raspberry Pi or something similar, So.
Yeah, and I just remember thinking about your system, and I didn't really take into account the fact that
you're already sleeping. I better get my heat on, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, squirrel moment there. I'm like, I better get my heat going.
I'm totally steeping.
That's okay. Give us a little bit of a cushion there.
Yep. And remember, you can just maintain your heat. Yeah, no,
I got that. I think you're probably going to be right in the end where there's not. I mean, the difference is going to be like 0.0 some kind of difference. Where it's not. Where it's a fraction of the gravity of the water, of the fluid, whatever. Doug's trying to sound like chemical. Ooh, hey, who's that? Is that Nathan?
Yeah, that's Nathan. I'm sorry, Nathan. I saw your post. You're really not that late. You missed some of the opening stuff.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Glad you joined us again.
Yep, glad you joined it. We'll catch you up though. Since you're here, we're brewing identical beers. They're winter spiced ales. We're gonna have a little orange peel, a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg. But we are doing everything the same, which is why we're kind of being careful with this whole thing. The steeping. We're both doing the same style of steeping. Usually Steve hot steeps and I cold steep. Today we're both hot steeping. Everything is going to be the same with the exception of the yeast.
Right.
He's going to use either 1028 or 1318, and I'm going to use the other one.
But what that means is my beer is going to be a little more dry. His beer will be a little more sweet.
So that's what we predict.
And that's what we predict, and that's what we're kind of doing as an experiment to see what would happen. But everything else is identical. Grains, all the additives, the everything. So should be fun. We'll let you know by Christmas time.
He also mentions that he would try your Raspberry Pi beer. I think you're being a smart aleck. Just saying.
Raspberry Pi beer. That would be an interesting beer, actually.
Woo!
little too sweet, probably.
Well, you got all the right ingredients. You got the breadiness. We could use some Munich.
Right.
And the raspberry. We'd probably have to use raspberry syrup though to get into the secondary.
You know, over our brew supply, they have a whole rack full of extracts, fruit extracts. And stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've seen those,
yeah.
and I think for the heavy fruit beers, I mean the ones that taste like fruit.
Right.
They're not cider.
No, there's a beer with a fruit aftertaste. Not too long ago, I had a peach IPA. Surprisingly, it was good. It wasn't too peachy, so it wasn't too sweet, but it had
they hit the right level.
Yeah, they did it right. It had just enough of a peach flavor to it that it was actually enjoyable. I would probably want to drink more than a couple because it was a little on the sweet side, you know.
Well, you know, I like fruit ales.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're great. But I agree with you. That's like a one a night thing, and then let's go back to a more standard beer
like Resurrection Ale.
Resurrection Ale.
Nathan, today we're drinking Resurrection Ale. This is the very first recipe I ever designed from the ground up by myself, and we're proud of this one. So
he knows where Raspberry Pi board is. He is totally messing with us.
No, we knew you were, man. We knew you were. We were just having fun back.
Steve knew.
Yeah, I was thinking of using a Raspberry Pi board to translate the signals that I'm going to use to take measurements of like weight and temperature and stuff up from my system, and then store them somewhere, probably a database, and then the database would talk to the web interface. That way you could use the phone. You can use a phone app, and I can know anytime how much beer I have on hand. It's like, well, I got 2.5 gallons of this beer. Let's go drink it. You know?
Yeah, and the whole, you know, we are also both aware that water weighs 8 gallons a pound, and that whole discussion was that different beers have different gravities, so they technically, like on a scientific level, really do weigh different. The same volume of beer will weigh different.
But if you look at the gravity changes, let's say like, you know, you have a initial gravity of 1.0, we'll just say 82, a kind of heavy beer, and then, you know, when it finishes fermenting, it's like 1.021 or something like that. That's still only hundreds. You know, in the hundreds of changes of decibel.
Hundreds.
Yeah, so that may not affect the weight of the keg at all. Then, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't think it'll affect it enough to really worry about it.
Right.
You get down to the bottom, it's like this is going to be the last pour.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, well, yeah. So yeah, maybe I won't worry too much about weighing the keg every time.
Well, maybe obviously you're going to have the functionality.
Well, I'll bake it in. I'll bake it in so that you can reset the base weight every time. But
because you're going to want
if you don't need to, then why do it? You know?
Because you got keg A and keg B, and what if other people want it?
Right. Plus, you know, the other thing too is different keg manufacturers might have enough of a different materials that the materials might weigh a little bit different enough to make a change. You know, like, you know, company A makes their corny kegs this way with these materials that only weigh, we'll just say 4 pounds. Corny B, corny keg B is made by this company, and you know, their keg only weighs 2.5 pounds because they were more space age about it or something stupid. You know?
Or what if it's someone using, you know, the pony keg or something? Because there's different kegs out there. My kegerator, all the taps for that is a completely different style of keg. By the way, I hate that keg. I like the Cornelius kegs much better.
Yeah, they're pretty standard, man. I mean,
they're easy. This one has this snap ring that goes in the top.
Oh, yours is for like those pony kegs, little short squat kegs, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, you can fit a Cornelius keg inside this, and you can connect whatever you want to the actual taps up on top of the kegerator. Kegerator, which by the way I don't use as a kegerator. I use it as a temperature controlled fermenter.
Yeah, which is actually a really good idea.
Yes, we need to get you one. We need to make space.
I can probably get on Craigslist or something, find somebody getting rid of one.
Maybe we could just make Riley move out. Put it in her room.
She'll probably move out as soon as she can.
Oh yeah, well, kids are.
Honestly, I'd like another one of those. I'm pointing out a deep freezer that I use as for storing my beer because I have a temperature controller in there. I want another deep freezer like that, honestly, for doing temperature controlled fermentation.
Well, you can do. The thing is with your setup, because you like lagering more than I do. I have yet to lager in. Well, I tried.
I'm not. Don't say I like it yet because I'm not sure I like it.
You've tried it more times than I have.
Trying it to see if it's something I would enjoy doing later. It just takes so much more time. You know.
Let's keep going. Yes, but like Jamie said, most beers will, in my opinion, won't have enough of a weight difference between brews.
So yeah, he agrees with you then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the question was, I wasn't sure if, you know, if let's say I made a Pilsner, which is a pretty light beer compared to like a stout. I wasn't sure if the difference between a Pilsner and a stout was going to make much difference of the weight of the keg for whenever the system was measuring a full keg. Jamie was saying, like, what you guys are in agreement on was like, yeah, it's probably not going to make that much to where your remaining pints is going to be off, you know.
Right, because like, how much does an ounce of beer weigh?
And I'm making it agree because, like, yeah, thinking about it, that gravity difference after fermentation is minute, you know what I mean? So, and that, I don't think that's going to affect the weight of the keg enough to, affect the weight of the keg enough to make a difference on pint count. This is the first one.
I know this is
terrible about this. The first beer I'm already stumbling on my words, man. Anyway, hopefully this project comes to fruition, man. Again, like all of us, it turns into a time thing. So,
right. So you say light in color. I don't think it would be light in weight. Right. We still need a production team.
You know, right? Those weird like lights you see people on YouTubers use, kind of like the old photography lights with the umbrellas and stuff. You know?
Well, so those guys, you know, most of your YouTube
things,
are a lot different though. I mean, a lot of those, like if you talk about your influencers and all those people, they're this far away from the camera. They're like right there, you know.
Yeah, and they have those rings. Light rings around the camera.
Yeah, which
is reflecting their eyes.
Yeah, especially if they're wearing glasses or something. Like, oh, look, demon influencer. Back. But look at our setup, because we have two of us here.
Right.
And because, you know, we have limits. Like, we don't have a Brudio where we can like have a camera on each of us.
Right.
And then someone else, like Joe Rogan's show, where Joe Rogan has a producer, someone sitting off to the side.
Oh, yeah.
Mute, edit,
pan, and they have something else that we don't have, you know, funding.
Yes, money.
lots of money, you know.
I think we do all right for what we have.
No, I agree. We make it work.
Absolutely. Hey Nathan, by the way, I watched part of an episode of The Kitchen Killers the other day. That's kind of interesting. Lots of food.
The music was cool, you know.
Yeah, there's a is that their usual format? Always one guy with the guitar hanging out, and the other guy doing the cooking, and then singing and stuff? Because that's kind of weird. I mean, it was
what's cool is it makes it different, you know, than your typical cooking show kind of thing.
It's true.
Throw a little extra in there, or do something outside the box, you know.
There's a lot of people ended up in that room, like a lot of people. And they're all in costumes, of course.
Right. No, makes sense.
Yep. Okay. That's the way the Kitchen Killers roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm floating at 160, closer to 150.
I'm at about 120. I got a little bit to go still.
A couple ways to go.
Ways to go.
I've got 14 minutes until we're done.
Right. No, actually, we're going to give ourselves a little more of a cushion in between using the warp chiller and all that stuff, so that works out.
Right. So we're going to be like super precise. I think we should kind of have that. Turn the flame off and still try to creep up on me a little bit.
Right. Oh, whoa. Yeah, the beer is going to be really, really cold right now because I'm carbonating, so I have my temperatures down to almost freezing. So,
right.
Which means to me it's going to affect the flavor of the Resurrection. The Resurrection now is not meant to be drank like Coors Light cold. You know, I mean, it's meant to be, 42, 43 degrees kind of thing.
Oh, they used to have two guitars, but Jay quit. If you watch this last Friday's stream, you will see me there. That's the one I was watching.
Was it Friday? Yeah. Was it Friday or yesterday? No, it was Friday, wasn't it?
When was the last one they did? Didn't they do that? That was Friday.
Yeah, because we were hanging out and we put it on.
Yeah, we were hanging out, getting ready to go. We were doing some practice for. We were legitimately practicing music. We actually do have music written. We swear.
Yeah.
Honestly,
we do.
I'll watch. You know what? I'll rewatch the replay, man. Because I was able to pay attention to parts, and we were letting it play while we were setting up amplifiers and other stuff. So I didn't pay super close attention, but I'll revisit it, man. I do know. I remembered looking for your name in the comments.
Yeah, you even said, I wonder where Nate is. You even said that. Yeah.
So when you say we'll see you there, does that mean we'll see you on the camera? Is that what you mean?
But yeah, music wise, hopefully not too much longer. We'll have a little beer EP out. It's gonna be cute. It'll be fun. Yeah,
Cute and
it's gonna be
fun.
fun. It's gonna have a variety of music on it. It's all just fun music. Have a good time. Drink beer.
Pub songs.
Pub songs. 80s sounding butt metal country.
I think that's pretty much what it is right there.
That's the range. And then the boom chicka style with the folk music. Or bluegrass kind of.
Well, which one is that?
Drink 'em all.
Drink 'em all? Nah,
what would you call that?
More like shouty pub music.
The shouty pub style? Okay.
It's closer to Zydeco than it is to...
Okay.
Yeah, it moved away from Dropkick Murphys. Thank you very much.
Which, by the way, Dropkick Murphys are going to be in the area on the 13th of November, which I can't do anything because that's when I'm going to be in Seattle with my wife. So
I can't. No, it's just not going to happen.
I was like,
look.
Just drop her up at the hotel. Hey, I'm gonna go to Dropkick Murphys.
Oh snap! Yes, I wasn't in chat. I was helping cook. I'm totally rewatching that replay.
Okay.
We're totally rewatching.
Yeah, we didn't realize you were in there, man. We were looking for a chat name. Yeah.
Yeah, I was absolutely looking.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll go back and watch the replay.
So you actually know these guys.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Also, I think it was last stream you asked about Five Finger Death Punch. Yes, he was coming back. They're gonna be in Spokane. Five Finger Death Punch sometime. I want to say next month.
Oh wow!
I'm not gonna be able to make it, but it was cracking me up because Nathan had asked about them if we were fans of them. I think last broadcast. Because I get emails from Ticketmaster and
right,
standard marketing crap because I bought a ticket 100 years ago. So
I've definitely listened to Five Finger Death Punch, and I don't hate them, but I wouldn't call myself a big fan. It's not like I follow them or know all their songs or even any of their songs.
I don't own any of their albums, but what I've heard on the radio and what I've seen. It's good stuff.
Well, and they are veteran friendly. I know that about them. They are. They have like a soft spot for veterans, and so it's like, okay, you got me. I like you more, even if you sound bad. I like you more.
I'm getting there.
They don't sound bad.
No, they have a nice groove, But anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it cracked me up. It's like, we just talked about these guys. How you doing on that beer, Nurse Jamie?
Look, man, I am entertaining the world and still speaking clearly. You, my friend, are hardly a pint in, stumbling all over your words, and I'm carrying the show right now. I can't do all that and finish. I can't even continue.
Wow. Just wow.
Don't hit me.
No.
I feel like I'm too
I'm not
far
violent,
into
man.
the show.
Come on, temperature. Oh, I'm almost there at steeping temperature. There we go.
Oh, so you're going to go see him in Tampa. He's going to go see
okay.
Five Finger Death Punch in Tampa on the 22nd. Sweet, dude. By the way, how is Florida? Because, the American media cycle and the American mental, memory of a goldfish. So you're not actively dying, so we've forgotten about you. So
I haven't heard it. Well, like my in-laws are, like I said, in Cape Coral, Fort Myers area, depending which side of the family you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I haven't heard anything since the main stuff that happened, a while back. So.
Well, I know my cousin is on Facebook, and she lives in Florida. I don't know where she lives, but she's been posting.
Right.
So obviously she's hanging in there.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure my wife would have said something if it had gotten worse for her mom and all that, or her dad. So. All right, I'm at the bottom end of the steeping temps. I'm gonna go ahead and put my sack in there.
Oh, you know what else we need to do?
What's that? What is that voice?
That would be a human creature on the other side of the garage door.
Humans out there.
Yes, there are humans. Humans. I can have cheeseburger. Human. Not gonna lie, all those really dumb cat memes where they say things like that. I can has come in the outside now. I find them cute.
All right, submerging the sack. And yes, the connotation was real.
I do click the no, this is not intended for children button every time we go, so it's okay.
Nice. All right. Guess I should start my timer.
So the other day we had a beer we experienced where you can go overboard with a specialty grain. It was it was definitely a barbecue beer. Like all you needed was a little sugar and some tomato and paprika, and you had a barbecue sauce beer.
Oh, that's right. That's that little smoky one we
It
had.
was way smoky, like way too smoky. And if I'm saying that you went overboard on something, you should pay notice because I don't have a sensitive palate. I really don't. And so
Just checking under the door, just see who's out there.
So in any case, it was a little bit of an overload. Oh, by the way, we've got still a lot of debris needs to be collected. Other than that, normal life. Friends in Cape Coral fighting insurance companies to get comped.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, well, that's gonna happen.
Insurance companies are crooks, dude.
Tell me about it. My insurance just went up by like $100 a month. It's because I adjusted everything.
I was like,
oh,
really?
Speaking of which, and speaking of Brudios, yeah. Guess what we have available to us now?
I think you mentioned it, a garage.
A 3-car garage.
With no cars.
With no cars. Not only is there no cars now, but no plans for cars ever.
Oh.
Ever! Yeah, so, in fact, Wendy was just saying, hey, you guys should go do the show over there. Of course, the one thing is, you know what else it doesn't have?
What's that?
Cable internet.
Oh, well, that's
just
gonna be a problem.
That's
a problem, then.
That is a problem because I am definitely not going to do this show on cell phone data.
Oh,
No.
no. That would be so expensive.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah, we don't
let's
have
back up.
unlimited data. So
No.
I intentionally don't use unlimited data plans. I have a very inexpensive cell phone plan. I pay about $42 a month. I get like 2 gigs of data. I don't use a lot of data, so I use Wi-Fi whenever I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got tired of spending a lot of money on cell phone service that I wasn't using.
Well, that's the same thing. I have a very similar plan to yours.
But I have unlimited text, unlimited calls. So.
Right, unlimited text, unlimited calls, but limited data. And part of that's because you don't need.
I don't use a lot of data.
And it's like, how hard is it to find a hotspot?
Right, in most places you can find them somewhere.
Like literally every single tap room that we've been going to.
Oh yeah,
they've all had free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
All the other places, if you go be a customer there, it's like free Wi-Fi. Driving down the road, my phone randomly updates as I'm driving down the road. It's like, it's like, what?
Right.
It's like, oh, it connected to
nice.
the internet somewhere around here. So yeah, I mean, now I will admit, having some data available to is nice. Like when you're on top of a mountain and have sort of turned yourself around.
Right.
Because you've developed a crippling dependence on technology, you no longer know how to read a map. Or actually, I still know how to read a map. I just didn't have a map with me. Probably about 4 minutes.
Oh,
1
you're
second.
almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, you need your malt extracts and the ladle.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go grab that.
Yeah.
They didn't get put in warm water, but they've been in the house, so.
And so we can get it. Where's the bucket? Where's your little stale beer tray? Oh, it's already there. I just didn't see it. Sweet.
You just didn't see it.
I just did not see it.
Hey, you want any pretzels, Rand? Okay.
Whatever. So, point being that we both have like minimal data plans because we don't need to use the data much. Oh, let me get over to your comments, man. I haven't been paying close attention. Straight Talk, unlimited data, $55 a month. Wow, that's fairly cheap. Nathan uses 100 gigabytes a month.
Wow.
How, dude? What? Do you have it plugged into your brain? Just running videos all the time, 7 tabs, cranking all the same. 100 gigabytes a month? I use like 500 megabytes a month. How do you do that? Now I can't see your comments because this is in the way. That's crazy. Although, truth is, my kiddo, he easily goes beyond 30 and 40 gigabytes every month. Because he does a lot of video streaming. Do you stream a lot of videos on your phone? Videos and podcasts that work all day. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's what my kiddo does. And for him, we got the unlimited data because, and when I say he pays for it. 100 gigabytes a month.
Woo! That's a lot, yeah.
Did I just mention that?
You did.
Well, I made to mention again. 100 gigabytes a month.
I forgot the label.
Yeah, gonna need that.
Oh, already.
Okay.
Not here the whole time, actually.
Still gonna need that.
It was added before you even started. Usually I have to go get it.
Why don't they put a tab on these things?
That's too convenient.
Okay, I guess so. So you know,
Here's the thing.
Had an interesting discussion about these extract kits that we use.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that Ben was mentioning is that, you know, you don't have a lot of control over what grains and malts they use to make the extract.
Right.
You know, or even knowledge. Oh man.
Are you sticky?
Excessively so. I mean, more than normal. And so that's one thing that's one variable floating out there. Oh, no home Wi-Fi, so phone data is all I have. You know,
makes sense.
that does make sense. And so,
Yeah, I probably use 100 plus gigs easy on my home Wi-Fi, you know.
yeah, well, if we had if our cell service out here was a little more decent, that might be an option. You know.
Right.
But I don't know how well cell Wi-Fi would hold up against the boys' loads that they put on it.
Yeah, who knows?
With Jaime, Captain Video, and Timo, all his online games. All right, that's it. All right, moving fast.
Moving fast.
Let's let that drain for a minute. So once Lydia moves in, maybe I can convince her to get internet. Maybe.
Oh, right.
I mean, the truth is, she's not much of a techno person.
You gonna stop your alarm?
Yes. Give me this minute. When you have 15 different genres of music playing in your house at all times because of your kids, you get very good at tuning things out.
Right, but I figured, I didn't think our one loyal viewer wanted to hear an alarm go off.
No, probably.
The whole time we're talking.
No kidding. So that makes much more sense. If your cell phone is your internet, that makes a lot more sense.
Definitely.
And really, for some people, that makes sense to just do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, why would you pay for a completely different cable package when you can just run off your phone? Especially
if it wasn't so expensive, I would do it.
Well, he's saying $55 a month, unlimited everything.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Let the stickiness begin. There's no help for it. You know, it's really sad is that even when we go all grain, I know I'm still going to find a way to get sticky. It's just going to happen.
Something is going to cause you to get sick.
Yes, the stickiness is just going to attack.
Right here. Hand me that beer, and I'll stop the beers off, and then let you finish up your stuff.
Wow, you've been waiting that whole time, haven't you?
All right, let's have a Cascadian Dark.
Sounds good, man. All right. standing right there.
Ladle. Here's your beer. Here. You do that. I'll put the beer down.
It's like, I have no hands.
All right. You take care of that. I'll be right back. I gotta see what's going on here.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Now they're getting back to take care of business. Usually my wife would be returning from my grocery shopping about now, if not sooner. But that's not what they did. They went and moved a horse. So Riley's horse is now going to be boarded somewhere else. Yeah. And we went and took care of that. Need a little more flame. That's my dog.
These are the only fermentables we have, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you know, back on the fruit beers, I think one of the reasons that you need those extracts is because if you just add fruit juices and things like that, the yeast eat it all.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll consume it because it has fructose in it.
So officially, Wendy thinks that the Temptation Ale with the honey addition is yucky.
Did you care for it?
Yes, she was like, yucky. You can say yucky if you don't want it. Like, she's like, yucky. But you know, that's going to change with more conditioning. And then when the
How much honey did
carbonation,
you put in there?
what?
How much honey did you put in there?
1.5 pounds. It's supposed to be a pound, but it came in a 1.5 pound package. So I just dumped it all in.
Oh.
I'm also not sure how old that honey was. It's been in my.
The honey didn't go bad though.
It doesn't, which is why I didn't worry about it. Honey stores for a long time. What?
Just listen to them.
You're eavesdropping.
Not only me, the camera is too.
I know, that's true. Hey, out there, don't say anything you don't want a potential billion people to hear.
Right.
Trillions, actually.
Trillions?
How many cells are in a human being?
You do realize the suburban doors are open, right?
I did not. You could close them. This is the part of the show where we talk outside the room.
Has he said anything? I can't see from
Hey,
here.
come get your crap.
I don't know. You know, maybe I should let you have this.
He was saying like where he lives, Wi-Fi would cost him about $89 a month just because of this is my real nature.
Well, you know, that's about what we pay here. Depending, I think I pay $100 a month. I've got Wi-Fi and voice over internet.
He says, draw up plans for me to make you guys a beer snack table. Let's do this.
Totally do this.
Beer snacks.
We do need a beer snack table, don't we? We just kind of.
It would work right between the two propane tanks.
I do think it would be really cool. We got to figure out the internet thing. Maybe I can con Lydia into paying for internet and stuff.
Really cool. I shut your truck.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sweetie. Love your kids, man. You have good kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're being punks, they're good kids.
They're always good kids. Just like that.
And the groceries are here.
Case of soda appears. I guess I did go grocery shopping.
Well,
Everything went directly from transferring that horse to the grocery store.
well, I try and be efficient when I go out.
Well, no, I would do that too. I just was surprised.
Well, especially living 5 miles out of town.
Oh, yeah. You kind of got to combine things.
Do everything at once.
I'm not going to go home and then come back out again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't consider it a horrible inconvenience to run out of town, but at the same time, it is. It's 15 minutes one way.
Yeah.
You know, after you get done with the stoplights and.
Yeah, I think from my house to yours is like 15 minutes if I timed it one time.
Yeah. average from my house to work, which is 8 miles, is 12 minutes.
Okay.
Which, again, is not a huge amount of time, but
That's good.
if you have 3 errands to run and you tack 24 minutes onto each of them,
Right. It adds up.
yeah, it's like do them all. Go into town, do your thing, go back home. That was interesting.
That's right. You can go with the rest.
Yeah.
Sometime it'll be time. Again, it'll be time to swab the garage.
Yes, swab the garage.
Swab the garage.
Tell you what, I'm sure glad we're in this garage today, though.
Yeah, I know.
It is yucky out.
Yeah, we Pacific Northwest is definitely living up to its name right now, Nathan.
Yeah.
Lots of rain and overcast, haze gray.
Just.
It's kind of crappy this weekend, man.
All right, I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna turn on flame.
Yeah. But no, go ahead and do your thing.
I'm gonna turn on flame. I'm gonna go wash my hands and then I'll come back.
Right. Gotcha. This is good beer too. This is not my recipe though. This is their recipe. Theirs, as in the Northwest Brewers, Brew Supply guys. But it came out good though, man.
Well, not gonna lie, they have yet to disappoint me as far as any of their kits.
No, everything we made is.
The only kit that was a disappointment was the one where we screwed it up and we tried to chill it in a snowbank and it took
It
like
didn't work. Yeah.
2 hours for it to get cold and just like
Snow, not a good word chiller.
yeah, doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. All right, I'll be right back.
Whoa, it's getting too cold. Warm up there. Yeah, that's a little too cold, man. Whoa, jeez.
Nice. Complete the circuit. So, definitely just stole some popcorn from your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Buttery, chocolate, peppermint. I'm not sure this is a good thing in the world.
So Nathan's saying that the weather's actually really nice right now over in Florida. Awesome weekend.
Somebody was
Low in the
saying-
60s-ish, up in the highs up in the low 80s, so it's been comfortable, I imagine. I mean, what's funny is when I was stationed in Lemoore, California, it gets hot there. It'll break 3 digits. The heat's a little more dry than probably Florida heat, because I remember Florida heat. I was in Jacksonville for a number of years as well. I remember that it was very humid. But anyway, I spent 6 years there in Lemoore, California when I was in the Navy. But my wife and children were still up here in Washington State, and I would call my wife every night, kind of thing, and she would just tell me, "Oh, it's so hot. We're just so miserable." And I'm like, "Oh yeah? Well, how hot is it, honey?" Because I knew where she was going with this. And she would say, "Oh, it's 78 degrees. It's a swelter." I was like, "Are you kidding me? It was 102 today." I don't want to hear it,
Well, you get acclimated.
I know.
I mean,
Now I am acclimated.
My cousin came up from Florida. We're up in Montana in the summer, and it's like 65, 70 degrees at night. Everybody in shorts and t-shirts except for my cousin in her hoodie and long pants.
Right. That first year when I retired from active duty and got home, June, hoodie and sweatpants, man, that was cold still because I hadn't acclimated. Now it's like, oh yeah, definitely cold. But definitely warm.
Come here, you guys.
You got coming in a snack table.
We do. If someone would just build us a snack table.
So if we drop the plans, it sounds like they'll make it for us.
I can draw up some plans, man. We can put hydraulics in it.
The bounce.
Do the 3-leg thing.
Amazing, the snacks don't even fall off. Can't find that.
Yeah.
Stable temp.
He was talking about humidity and how
Oh.
it changes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does, man. It's like it exacerbates cold and it
Right.
exacerbates heat.
Yeah.
We were going back to Connecticut, because my extended family's in Connecticut from Montana. Montana, it is like 10 degrees below zero.
Right.
And we're in flannel shirts and jeans and sneakers, right? Warm hats. Right? It's cold, but we're fine. Go to the other side of the country, and it's like 30 degrees,
Right.
and I'm just like, Jesus, cold. What the heck? It's because of humidity. You know, Montana is just dry as bone.
Mm. I have never, ever been to Montana. Not even
That
close,
was a
man.
problem we need to fix, my friend.
Yeah, but it's close. I've been to Idaho, or through Idaho. I drove through Idaho, but not across. I went south. I was still in Idaho,
Mm-hmm.
down into Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then drove into Colorado, into Mexico, going to Texas 1 year. You know?
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Instead of doing the I-95 corridor down, or I-5 corridor,
Yeah, I-5.
the 95 is over on the East Coast.
Yeah.
The I-5 corridor going south. I went like I-25 or something like that, kind of farther.
Yeah,
in.
he moved in and
Yeah.
then shut down.
I didn't want to deal with California and all that, so we decided we would try a different route and go through like Colorado, Wyoming. You know.
Yes, the border patrol checks at the state border. Only state that has it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been to all 48 lower. I don't know if I've been to all of them. But I've been through a lot of states. And California is the only one that has a border check.
Oh, New Mexico has one on I-10.
Oh,
yeah. Not I-10. One of the back highways, Highway 54. There's a border patrol check.
No, not a border. This is at the northern border between Oregon and California.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which makes
No, I'm not. I don't mean southern border. It's a border check, you know.
Looks like
Yeah, they're looking. They want to make sure you're not bringing in like grapefruit and things from like citrus. They don't want outside citrus fruits. They don't want outside meats. Let me bring beef jerky for you one time. That's fine, beef jerky. But they didn't want like fresh meat. Like if we had something in a cooler, they would have probably made sausage. You know.
Yeah.
Something about transferring diseases. And
you know what that inspires me to do? Never go to California.
I have no desire to go back to California.
But it's like, what kind of elitist crap is this?
Well, it's an agriculture thing.
I
At
know.
least that's what it's painted as. You know.
But let's be serious.
You know.
Your grapefruit that you bought at Safeway in Portland is going to take down the California agricultural system.
Like, I'd be more concerned about grapefruit coming in from outside the country, not from state to state. You know. But whatever.
I mean, chances are that grapefruit came from California in the first place.
Right. Probably came from California. It was shipped up north, sold.
Ooh, we need to go to Potsdam because that looks really cool.
Yeah, I got about 6.5 minutes left on my steep. So.
Okay, we're gonna go to Potsdam.
Potsdam.
Potsdam. Where is? Okay, hold on. Yes.
Down, up, down.
Most professional broadcast this side of the Columbia River, right here. You're watching it.
He's getting a great view of my shelf.
Yes. At least there's no female underwear on it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You were about to pull over that table.
I may have over tightened that.
I think you did.
There we go. Move back a little. Move over. Okay. Now, if that was not some awesome studio production value crap there, I don't know what is.
I'll figure it out.
I just like, if you look, I think this is a really cool shot because I think that looks really cool where you can see all of that stuff coagulating or precipitating out, the big protein chunks in there.
Mm-hmm. The hot break.
Mm-hmm. The hot break. He said, don't be defending California here, Nathan. There are many species of plants that if you brought them into a certain state, could potentially ruin the ecosystem. A lot of plants we have the U.S. did not. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That's like the reality is, I could go to Montana and cut cords and cords and cords of firewood for free. Just go up in the mountains and just do it. Take a week off, come back with 15 cords of wood. But you wouldn't want to do that because you don't want to bring wood from that side of the mountains over to this side. The little bugs that it has in it will come with it, and they'll get out and they will do bad things.
Let me have that nail, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need it here shortly.
Yep. So yeah, we are bagging on California and the fact that they have a border patrol check at their northern border, but there is something to be said about that. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I think it was Johnny Depp almost got arrested for smuggling his dogs into Australia. They're like, look, we want to make sure your dogs don't have diseases that could wipe out our dogs. That stuff actually makes good sense. It's one of the ways that different cultures have conquered other cultures in the past. You know, notably in America, smallpox was really devastating to the Native Americans, but they are not the only people that has been attacked by a disease brought by another people. You know, Persians and Greeks and Romans and African tribes and Western Europeans and the Gauls and the Goths and pick your geographic people that went somewhere. And if you're lucky, the little bugs that you bring with you kill your enemy, and the little bugs that they give to you don't kill you, which is kind of what happened with. Regardless, I have no desire to ever go to Cali ever. I've been there. It's not horrible. People are people, but believe it or not, I actually didn't like the climate because I liked the cold. I like the hot. I like the cold. And especially, I was in San Diego for 6 months, and it was just so bland. Not hot, not cold, not nothing, just bland. So I'm trying to get up to a boil about as fast as I can. At which point, hops in that fridge there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hops.
Oh, you know what we didn't look up yet? And we need to?
Are you ready for hops?
Well, in a minute, yeah.
Dude, the Corona seltzers are good. Yeah. It doesn't say it's a beer, it says it's a seltzer. But they're good. I got to sample them.
Okay. Let's get a little hot there again.
So in short, Cali was not
I got a minute.
really my thing. All right, we have to do something.
Yeah, I have just about a minute, and I need to get my boil going.
Mm-hmm. Sure. How did my phone go to dead? What the heck?
It's one of those.
Yeah.
No,
You'll like it a while.
you crazy it, but you don't want it, but you absolutely do it. That's how I want to put my nails, but I didn't.
So the nutmeg,
Randomly.
we've got an answer. 1/4 teaspoon per 5 gallon batch. Nutmeg. That's nutmeg. So I'm gonna go to cinnamon.
Little teaspoon doodad here, so.
So the thing that we
Oh,
don't
wow, I
really
don't have a quarter. I might have a 1/4 teaspoon in the house. Smallest this goes to is half a teaspoon.
Well, you can go that much if you want.
I'm not gonna go that much.
I think a 1/4 teaspoon. If we can get a 1/4 teaspoon measure.
Yeah, I'll go in the house and try to find the 1/4. I'm gonna use this also for the Irish moss too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's a half teaspoon, I think.
Yeah.
Or 1 teaspoon. I can't remember.
So, anyways, Nathan, the one thing that we
1
don't
teaspoon.
know yet. How
Do we have a 1/4 teaspoon little measuring?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Can I borrow it?
We have a few.
I just need a 1/4 teaspoon size. Because we're gonna put nutmeg in our beer.
Do I want a ginger ale, Sprite, or a tea?
Huh?
Ginger ale Sprite or tea for me.
Something's going off.
Have
There's
a ginger ale.
There's a timer going off.
You know what? That's the last ginger ale. Riley likes this.
Okay, I'll just try it.
Alright, Riley, those need to go in the recycle bin, please.
How much cinnamon do you put in 5 gallons of beer?
All of it.
All of it. Thank you, lady who doesn't drink beer.
She used to drink beer.
Used to. She doesn't do it now.
Yeah. Like, she has like 2 drinks a year now. of something,
I
not
know.
beer though.
Personal preference and other factors. However, a general rule of thumb is to start with 1 to 2 ounces of cinnamon per 5 gallons of beer.
You measure cinnamon with your heart.
With
Careful.
your heart?
Oh, thank you.
You measure cinnamon
Cinnamon junkie.
with your heart. Okay. So
Can you bring me the cans on the counter?
suddenly
Look at the cans.
we became
Please.
metaphysical here.
The plastic cans? I left them on the counter.
My ancestors tell me when there's enough cinnamon.
Your answer.
Your ancestors.
We're getting a little
That's enough,
deep
my
here.
child.
Wow.
Okay, keep
That's
going
how I
back.
measure.
Let's,
I measure with my soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
We said cans, not jugs.
The cans of the syrupy stuff. The white ones.
let's go with the beer advocate. They're a
Oh,
pretty
Bailey, or
Jamie.
Jamie, whatever your
Did
name,
you
whatever
just
your
call
name.
me Bailey?
I did. Bailey, your beer is boiling.
All right, so let's get that calmed down.
Yeah, don't put your hops in yet.
No.
Gotta stabilize.
All right, we'll go back to pot can.
Pot can. Thank you, kiddo.
Bailey.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much
Appreciate
taller
it.
than her. All right, let's get this boil established. Get this under control. Thanks for catching that, dude. That could have been an unmitigated disaster.
Unmitigated. Yeah, I looked over. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
I was like, you have an aggressive boil there.
Yeah. Ain't nothing rolling about that.
No.
All right. Adjust pot can to look at both the pots now.
Pot can. There we go.
Goes back.
Okay, get as much of this out of here. One day we'll go to All Grain. One day. We'll have to deal with this.
Go ahead, boys. It's my way. Nice. Thank you, Nathan, for adding humor to the show.
Oops.
Come on. It's like the boil left.
I know, right? Either super boil or no boil at all.
That would be because that unique smell that you're smelling is unburned propane.
Hey man, what's that smell? Too many pretzels and pickled eggs to tell.
Like, why are we not returning to boiling this? Because You're pumping gas, but you're not burning it. There we go.
All right. Here's a plastic bag. Ew.
You're gonna get sticky. You're gonna get sticky.
So far, so good.
I hate you.
So far, so good.
Baby, come back to me. Come on, boil. But not too much. Not too much. Boil, 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 boil. All right, getting closer, getting closer. Nope. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. All right,
There she is.
back it off. Back it off. Just ease it back. Ease it back. Ease it back.
Tap it. Tap, tap, tap.
Tap, tap, tap it down.
Yep.
We're working our way to ultraviolet here.
So we still haven't figured out exactly how much cinnamon we need.
Yeah, I was in the middle of doing that when suddenly life got excited.
Yeah. Because if they're talking about ground cinnamon, then that's easy to measure. But we have a stick of cinnamon.
Right.
I mean, I think I have ground cinnamon if we want to convert it to that. Just,
Well, I'm sure that I'll be able to find a site pretty quick.
Right.
There we go. All right. I'm going to call that
I
rolling.
mean, this is like what, an ounce?
Yeah, the one said an
So, I
ounce.
mean, that's
which-
probably a cinnamon stick. Maybe 2 at the most.
I mean, but are they using a volume measure? Or
Or a
they
weight measure.
they must be using a volume measure, though, with cinnamon.
I don't know, man.
All right. This is the Centennial, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, the Fuggles are in a different kind of packaging.
All right, let me start my timer, and then I will return. Did you get sticky?
Nope.
You suck. I mean, you're
Not
done.
done yet.
You're amazing.
Not done yet. Give it time. I'll probably screw it up and get sticky.
Cool. That's under control. My timer is set. We're counting down. Back to the interwebs.
All right.
Let's go ahead and go back to normal.
I
cam.
think this is unprecedented. I'm not sticky. I've never had an extract moment where I didn't get sticky until now.
Okay, let's not dwell on it too much because it's just let's not tempt the karma people. Whoever there.
The carbon people. All right.
Yada, yada,
Let's
yada.
get some flame going. I gotta get up to temp.
Oh.
You are already at temp. That's good.
Huh. Cinnamon in secondary. Well, that's secondary, but
You could do secondary.
Okay.
Did I speak too soon? Am I sticky? Well, we can just still do secondary.
you said I got sticks, but I hear those do next to nothing for you. That's because it's in secondary. I add cinnamon.
I think if we're gonna do sticks, we need to do sticks in primary. Because it boils, it'll extract. If we're gonna do secondary, we should definitely use ground cinnamon then.
Okay, I don't think we should go. Add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon to the boil for pumpkin ale. Perhaps it might work adding secondary, but many brewers here use tinctures, and that might add flavor. Ground powder. Not sure where you heard cinnamon sticks do nothing next to nothing, but I disagree. I have a cinnamon maple coffee stout. Took first spice beef something. For my cinnamon, I did a vodka tincture with fresh crushed cinnamon sticks. Memory fails me, but I believe I did 3 sticks, 4 ounces of vodka, and let it sit several weeks shaking. Then adding cinnamon till you get to the level you're looking for. Personally love cinnamon in a stout, so I probably built mine a little strong. Keep going. If you want a slight burn as well, you might want to consider a vodka tincture of habanero peppers too. These people are smoking crack. Who puts habanero? I'm alone. It's Jamie alone. There's nobody here. I'm just me. Nathan. Ventilation's key. I'm guessing you guys had Halloween last night? No. No. Last night was just Saturday night. I don't know what Steve and his wife's kids did. I think Steve and Brad. So I think the kids and Brandy did something. I know me and Steve, we went and bought our beer kits, and then we went out to a tap room and sampled, had another flight of beers. We're doing this thing called the Ale Trail, which is all the local breweries. It's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, but you go to all the breweries and you get a stamp from them, and then when you're done, we're pretty sure it's going to be a pint glass. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think it's a pint glass.
We're pretty sure it's going to be a pint glass. Anyways, you get a little prize if you manage to visit all the breweries. So we did our last one last night. What'd your wife do? Haunted houses and things?
Yeah, they went to some kind of haunted house. One of those old fort battlement things.
Oh, like down at Fort Casey?
Yeah, they had a haunted
That would be spooky.
Yeah. You had to be like my kids could even go because I think you had to be 16 or older to get in. Because it's supposed to be really scary.
Okay, these guys. These guys are all talking about.
What's that? Oh, the article.
So, okay, let's try this one. Brew Cabin.
So they're all saying ground cinnamon, huh?
Well, no, they're not.
Oh, okay.
The one guy said ground cinnamon. The other guy, let's see. This is the one that we read. That's like way too much words. Way too many words.
Too many words.
Just get to the point.
Yeah, I hate when they put a bunch of filler crap on like a blog post or something. It's like, come on, just be succinct and to the point. I get it. You're probably paid for the word, but come on. You know.
There we go. This one. So homebrewing. The correct step to add cinnamon and vanilla. I want to experiment a bit by adding spices. I'm thinking cinnamon and vanilla to my beer, but wonder at which step is considered the best time to add it. Personal experience is very welcome. I assume adding it during mashing is out. I guess the obvious time would be during the boil, or early or late. Or is it better to do it after the boil during mixing? Just to let the spices soak. I guess it's a bad idea to leave spices in during first for me, yada yada. Okay, this guy is asking a lot of questions. This person here, Nate, are you still there, Nathan? Oh, he just saw the flights. I put habanero and other hot peppers in my mead. You guys they're crazy. You're crazy. That's cooking wine. That's cooking wine at that point. Cooking wine. This person, I've used cinnamon in mead and boiled the must with it. I find the flavor is much fainter, but it's still there after fermentation, though I have not yet tried adding cinnamon after the primary fermentation. Main flavor compounds in vanilla and cinnamon are both phenolic compounds that will boil off if added too early in the boil. I have always seen them added either 10 minutes or later in the boil, added to the fermenter in the secondary, or soak the cinnamon and vanilla beans in vodka and add that to the bottom bucket. So I should add extracts not useful to us.
Interesting.
I'm about ready to hip shot this.
Yeah.
I added 2 cinnamon sticks that were chopped in a food processor to primary fermentation. Nope.
I mean, I guess we could break them up. You know what I mean there? These are only about 3 inches, 2 inches long.
How cinnamony do you want this to be?
I don't want it to be cinnamony. I just wanted it to impart just enough of a spice, flavor. But I don't want someone to go, oh, that's cinnamon.
Right.
Okay. Or if someone does detect it, I want it to be like very faint.
What you're doing, but you just lost my attention because you.
I mean, we don't have to use sticks, man. It seems like the ground's in the way. But I have ground cinnamon.
Right.
So the other thing I'm gonna look up is raisins. Using raisins.
Do you want to put raisins in?
I do, but I want to put them in during secondary. I want to see what people say about that because I just don't know.
Well,
But what I'm curious about
2
is
weeks to figure that one
if
out.
the raisins are going to, because raisins are gonna have, they have sugar in them,
Right.
Natural sugar, and I don't know if it's gonna make the beer too sweet.
It'll make it sweeter.
Is it going to wake up the yeast that's in there, and are they going to consume the sugars? Is it going to up the ABV?
Don't forget the Caramel 120 imparts a raisiny flavor to this beer already.
Oh,
That's that grain.
right.
And I had read that somewhere about different grains have like these.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like, oh, this is raisins now. Maybe I won't do raisins in this one.
We can still do it. It's just anything you do, make sure you let me know so I do it too.
I know.
How much cinnamon do you add to beer? For a 5-gallon batch, half a teaspoon at the very end of the boil is enough to get a subtle flavor. 1 teaspoon will allow the character to shine through. Cinnamon sticks are the perfect addition to a winter warmer.
There it is.
Let's try this one.
Keyword: winter warmer.
Please don't have some sort of paywall squeeze box BS here.
Right.
So, oh, the formatting is horrible. I guess I'll get my hops ready.
I'm gonna go and get a paper plate, so we can split up the orange peel.
1 to 2 sticks for a 5-gallon batch of beer. There we go. Add it in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the boil. And he left. Saw the flights. Yep.
Say we're salting now.
Okay, so now the next, so 1 to 2, so let's do 2 sticks. What do you want to do, bro? How bold do you want to get?
Ain't stirred.
Ain't stirred? All right, let's do 2. Now, the next question, at the half-hour mark or at the 10-minute mark? Or at the 5-minute mark?
Everything's at the 10-minute mark. Let's do it at the 12-minute mark. As weird as that sounds.
Oh.
No, because everything else is going in at 10 minutes.
Right, well, but the thing that, the reason that I asked about that is
I think
because,
it's all going at 10, really.
because Ben suggested half hour.
Get the half hour. Well, half hour is gonna take it. It's gonna boil off a lot of that. Maybe if we do 2 sticks, maybe the half hour. No, 20-minute mark.
Well, how about the 15? The hell with it. It's the 12-minute mark because.
Nah, 15 is fine.
Okay.
Keeps it.
Yeah, I can get to that.
Use the force.
I am. The force is also known as your hand there. Hand that to me. Wow, that's a lot more volume than I expected. Document all things and our amounts you add. Me and my stepdad have a detailed spreadsheet of all the meats. Oh yeah. In fact, thank you for
Well, that's
reminding
cool.
me.
Yeah. So obviously you guys are real serious about it, and that's good that you do that.
Well, you're really good at that stuff.
Right. Well, no, I wish I could have the time to do that, but now I just keep notes on my phone for what I do. Similar, I mean, the spreadsheet I'm sure keeps it nice and tabulated and organized, but I just keep notes on my phone, in my little notes app for what I do to the beer and outcomes. In fact, I have the line thief, and being clean because I want to do gravity readings.
Okay.
I'm going to do initial and I'm going to do final gravity because I want to see actually what this comes out as. This is a complete. This was almost kind of a shoot from the hip recipe if you think about it, with a little guidance from our store guys.
Well, yeah, it's shoot from the hip, but it's not uneducated shoot from the hip.
No, it wasn't like blind.
It's like just go into the store and grab some random yeast, random hops, random stuff, and then throw it in the pot.
Guessing that's about half an ounce each.
I was really hoping for some more interesting hops, to be honest.
They didn't really have much at the time. It seemed like the stocks were a little low.
Well, they had a lot of Yakima Chief stuff that we didn't even look at. I thought it was a real valid point that Ben brought up about the super complex grain bills.
Right.
It's like, how much of that are you going to be able to taste? You've got 15 different grains in here. You really
Probably
think,
not much.
But the other thing is that some of those complexities, the synthesis or the synergy between all the various parts of the recipe, it makes its own flavor.
Right.
You could put that on top of your.
Well, I'm thinking of splitting it.
Like getting another plate.
No, I'm gonna put some of these in here.
I would scoop them off.
Can't really scoop them off.
I could help you. Over the cord. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Be a real pisser if it fell on the floor.
Yes, it would. There's a couple there. All right. It appears to be about half. That's half.
It's pretty close.
Not like I have a little, scale or anything, but
Close enough, man. It doesn't have to be.
yeah, I know. A couple places isn't gonna make a difference.
We could do it that way if you wanted. I don't know where we're gonna get scale in the next 12 minutes, but.
No, not that important.
All right, so I'm down to 46 minutes. So we got time. Back to pot can.
I'm not even anywhere near boiling. It's getting there. I got a hot rake. We're getting that kind of little foam build up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here in a minute. I'm gonna go pull out the water walks and stuff and get them drying. Put them on a towel. Get them ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of thing.
I gotta go get my cardboard now that I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to rotate mine as well. Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick while you're taking a break.
All right, we're both away from the camera right now, Nathan, so we'll be back. Normal cam. Oh. So we've got 42. I got about 12 minutes. Actually, I think I have more time than that. We're not doing anything at the half-hour mark. Let's see. So we put the Centennial hops in at the 60-minute mark, and then the Fuggles is going at the 10. The orange peel and the cinnamon are going to go in at 15, and then the nutmeg is going to go in at 10. We have no idea how this beer is going to turn out. None whatsoever. Oh, shit! Ha-ha! Caught it before it was a disaster. Foggy glasses. Get the boil under control here.
All right, am I boiling?
Yeah, you went over a little bit, just a little bit though.
The boil over?
Yeah, just a little bit, dude.
All right, I got it, man.
Okay.
Every time I go in to do something, I come back to a stupid boil over.
It was my fault.
Or is it your fault? It's my boil.
Yeah, but I was out here and I didn't watch it closely enough.
All right, well.
Like I said, it was only a little bit. It went up to the top and went over a little bit, and then I caught it.
Pisses me off.
Right. Kniff? I got a new knife.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Actually found it.
All right, a little bit more aggressive than I want. All right, let's go here.
Oh, Nathan's out. Good night, Nathan.
Take care, man.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse my carboy.
Yeah, I didn't even get the rinsing stuff. I was too busy doing other things and talking to Bailey. That's why I got distracted. Having a conversation with her. She wants a cell phone really bad.
Oh, yeah.
And she's comparing it with Riley. Riley got her phone at a younger age than Bailey is now.
Okay.
So she's kind of upset about that.
All right.
And the problem is, it's a responsibility thing. She forgets things too much. And she has one of my wife's old phones that she uses. She, kind of uses that as a phone, even though it doesn't work as a phone. She still gets on the Wi-Fi with it. In fact, she impressed me this week because she was using it as an alarm to get herself up for school, even
Okay.
before I got up. So I was impressed with that. I told her that too. I was like, that's how you show responsibility. But she wants a cell phone, so she started asking me about things she could do, or like if she did X, Y, and Z, could she possibly have a phone by her 12th birthday kind of thing, you know? I said, well, we'll see. Come on, man. Stupid boil is not stabilizing. I think I about got it. All right, there we go. Timer started.
All right.
That looks good right there. I mean, it's slightly more bubbly than I usually go with, but if I turn it down anymore, it's probably going to stop.
Right. You'll lose the boil completely.
If I turn it up, it's going to be obviously aggressive. All right, let me go back and try to rinse some now. But now we don't really have Nate with us anymore.
Yeah, we're just entertaining no one. Entertaining
Nobody.
back to pot cam.
Fuck yeah.
We need a soundtrack. Orange peel, cinnamon. That's the next one. cinnamon sticks. That's pretty close to textbook, man.
What the hell? Did you adjust anything?
Nope, didn't touch it. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's still moving and rolling.
All right.
So yeah, it's a. I gotta tell you, I wasn't terribly pleased with the decision to get Timmel a cell phone.
Yeah.
That was a little bit nerve-wracking, to be honest.
Well, my concern is just she's gonna leave it somewhere.
Right.
Because she gets absent-minded and doesn't think about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that toy phone, that old phone, she left it at her friend's house, and her dad brought it to me at work. He's like, "Hey, Bailey left this here, Granted, it's just not a real phone, and it's, thankfully it was at my friend's house where I got it back easy enough. But
Right.
the principle still stands. Though, what if it was a public place,
Yeah.
And she's done that. She's left that same phone. We went to someplace, a chicken wing place, whatever, and she left it there on the bench at that restaurant,
Well, and
Because
the
she gets
truth,
distracted. And
the truth of things is that there's nothing she can do. Like, there's no special chore she can do to demonstrate. It's like the only thing you can do, kiddo, is over a period of time demonstrate responsibility with this.
And that's what I told her. I was like, you just, once you show us that you're on top of remembering these little things, and it starts with like something as little as turning off the bathroom light when you're done.
True.
Just those little things, clean up after yourself without me having to tell you. You have a weekly chore, do your chore without having to be reminded. That shows me responsibility, I mean, I want her to have a phone, because I get it. All her friends have phones. There's times where Brandy is running late or forgetting something, and she might need to get a hold of Bailey or vice versa. I get it. At my age, when I was that age, she's 11. When I was at that age, I didn't know what. I mean, I knew what a cell phone was, but there was no way I had a cell phone. But then again, cell phones weren't ubiquitous when we were 11 either.
No, they were for rich people.
Now
Our parents didn't have cell
it's very
phones.
common for 10-year-olds to have cell phones. You know what I mean? It's very common.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Not saying I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid and moving along with it, but it's not uncommon for younger children to have cell phones now.
And as people, even if you're not afflicted heavily with the keeping up with the Joneses disease, we want what other people have, especially when it's a nice thing. If someone has something that's cool, it's like, I'd like the cool thing
One
too.
example she made was they had this social thing at her school, and she was there. She was like the only kid in her little group that didn't have a phone to take pictures with of the other kids and have fun,
Oh, yeah.
So I get that. I know how that feels. You're like, oh, I don't have the G.I. Joe. I'm the only kid without a G.I. Joe to play with.
Yeah.
And that, back in our day, it would have been a G.I. Joe without a cell phone.
I know exactly. I get the analog. I get
so that's why it's like, I want her to have a phone and enjoy a phone with her friends, because it's just how it is today, man. It's just part of the evolution of our society.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's inevitable. Whether she gets one at 11 or she gets one at 21, she's gonna have a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I have a cell phone. Her mother has a cell phone. Her sister has a cell phone. Her auntie has a cell phone. Her cousins have cell phones.
All her friends have cell phones.
All her friends have cell phones.
All her friends' parents.
And I don't mean like, well, if your friend jumped off a bridge thing, and that's not what I'm going with. Just because your friends have a cell phone doesn't mean you get one. But I get it. It's just cell phones are part of society, especially among the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want her to have one so she can do the things that the other kids do. But I want her to be responsible about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to tell her. That's why I got sidetracked to come out here and check on my boil. Was that you got to show us more responsibility. I said, you're on the right track by getting yourself up in the mornings this week. Good job. Don't stop doing that. Keep getting yourself up without me. That's a good show right there.
But then again, going back to the whole forgetting at places, if let's say we had G.I. Joes, I don't know if you had. I didn't have G.I. Joes. But let's say if I had a G.I. Joe and I lost it, then my parents would be out $20, which is a chunk of change in the 1980s.
Oh yeah, $20 went far in the early 80s, man.
But still, I don't think inflation has gotten so bad that it's $1,000.
Right.
You know, which
Well, she's
I
not
don't-
getting $1,000 phone.
no, I would hope not. But the point is, cell phones are expensive pieces of equipment.
Right.
They're expensive pieces of equipment that expose you to vulnerabilities in certain things. You know, my GI Joe. If someone else stopped my GI Joe, they couldn't hack my life.
Right.
They just had 2 GI Joes. You know, they had an extra Cobra Commander. You know, I was sad they had 2 Cobra Commanders, and that's pretty much as far as it went. You know, someone gets into our devices and stuff, they can do things. They
They
can,
can own your life.
borrow money. They can
Borrow
become
money.
you.
Right. They can take out loans in your name.
Mm-hmm. You can do a lot of things. So it is. It's like, sure, this is part of society now, but it just means that society, the ramifications for being part of society are a little bit more severe.
Yeah. That's why she's not going to have anything like that on her.
But I totally understand, you know, what you're saying, you know, like from her point of view. It's like, even me, and I am very good at not worrying about the Joneses. I have a Lamborghini. I have an old Ford truck. Don't you want a Lamborghini? Nope. And I don't feel
You
like
can pay the
I'm,
insurance on it.
that's right. I don't feel like I'm less successful because you own a Lamborghini and I have an old Ford truck. You know,
Not about keeping up with the Joneses.
Right. Well, my point is that even me, who is like very much not into that, I still have, I want, you know, when the iPhones came out, I wanted an iPhone. I really did. When it first came out, iPhone 1, whatever they called it.
iPhone 1.
You know, now I didn't get one until we hit the iPhone XR. I don't care, Apple, it's XR. Call it 10 all you want. The Roman Empire went away XLLLMMIVVXI years ago. But seriously, I didn't get one for a long time just because it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, no, man, it just doesn't fit. And now that I have one, iPhone XR, I find that I really don't use it for much. You know when I use it the most? Right here.
That's fine.
This is when I use my phone the most for all its capabilities. And really, I could just have like another iPad or something.
Right.
You know, the phone itself.
What did we decide on for the cinnamon? 20 minutes?
2 sticks at the 15-minute mark.
15, okay.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
Typed it down. Annotated it on my phone, which I use the most right here.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, so I've got quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I still have 40 some odd minutes left on mine. 46.
So I'm at 23. So in
Here soon I'm going to rinse my or empty my
Yeah.
carboy out.
in about what 12 minutes? No. 8 minutes. 8 minutes I have to add the orange and the cinnamon.
Yeah.
So, considering that Nathan is gone and that things are a little busier when we're over here just because the geography of where things are doesn't make it easy to just
Right.
let a camera roll. I mean, they could stare at the wall of your garage for 20 minutes.
That'd be pretty boring.
Yes.
I'd be like, I'm going somewhere else now.
Yes. That's what I would do. So, why don't we call it?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So, if you made it this far, good on you. You're amazing. Unless you used the little arrow button and skipped all the way forward, in which case you're still amazing and you're smart, and we applaud you. So, winter ales, identical brews. So far, we're doing pretty good with keeping everything the same. All the times are the same. All our additions are the same. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like the idea. Like, I'm kind of excited.
That'd be fun.
I'm kind of excited to see how they turn out different, and it'll be cool. So, until then, wait a minute. We really need a production crew.
What are you doing? Ooh, excuse me.
We need to do our tagline.
Oh yeah, true, huh?
So thanks for watching the replay, Nathan. Thank you for actually hanging out with us and being a live viewer. Appreciate that very much. We're going on hiatus for a month, a whole month. We're not going to be here in November.
We'll see you back December 4th, I believe it is.
Yeah, December 4th.
December
So
4th.
Until then, relax.
Don't worry.
Have a home brew.